Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Yesterday the Russians attacked Odessa Oblast with a great number of rockets, shells, missiles, and they tried also to destroy some radar installation by having I think it was Sukhoi 24 launching 4 missiles. The Ukrainians claim that they downed all 4 of them. And today it seems like it's the Kherson's turn, where the Russians in the past 24 hours shelled Kherson Oblast in a great number. This comes from the Ukrainian media outlet of the New Voice of Ukraine. So let's see the article, and we're going to go to a map as well. The New Voice of Ukraine. Russia pounds Kherson Oblast with 400 shells in 78 attacks in the last 24 hours. I have to say that in the last maybe past month or so, Kherson was a place where the Russians did not conduct offensive operations and not a lot of shells. They did not attack, let's put it this way, but it was the Ukrainians. And I'm going to use a Russian media outlet right here, and this is from yesterday, the 4th of March, and this is this is Kherson right here. So this is where the Russians, they say all these blue little circles, bullets, whatever you call them, these are Ukrainians shelling the Russian positions. These two right here are the only ones that the Russians did around Kherson area. Everything else is Ukrainian. So this has been like this for at least a month. The Ukrainians do this, the Russians bang bang. Not something very important. You can say, well, maybe it's just focused on this one and you got 400 shells here or something. Well, it could be possible, but I haven't seen that yet since I've been covering this. So let's see what Ukrainians are saying. Other regions were also reportedly under attack. The city of Kherson was itself shelled several times, with 27 shells injuring 4 civilians, including blah blah blah. Ukrainian defense. Why I'm saying blah blah blah? I'm sick of hearing this all the time. If you really care about it, you would do something else. But obviously, you just they always kill civilians. But we don't. It's hard for me to believe that. I mean, I was like. Anyway, and the other ones say the same thing. They learned now, the Russians say the same thing. Whenever Ukrainians are shelling something, let me show you here on this map. For instance, if I go here, not here, I go north, let's say here is where the Ukrainians bombarded something. Let's see what they bombarded. They damaged 5 private houses, broken windows, 2 outbuildings, and 2 vehicles. So again, these guys say the same thing, and I've seen this in the past, month, starting emphasizing this kind of thing. And I have another one. Where is it? Right here. Let's see what these guys are saying. They were a village came under Ukraine Armed Forces fire. So again, a village, 2 houses were damaged. So, it makes you like, don't even pay attention to this anymore, unfortunately. They got me calloused with this, if I may say that. So, let's see what's next here. Ukrainian defense forces are attempting to move the Russian army back at least 20 kilometers from the banks of the Dnieper River in Kherson Oblast to reduce the number of attacks, the South Command reported. Well, looking at this map, not there, but here, it seems to be that, right? You attack all these locations here, you want to push them further and further by blowing them up. That probably to prepare a counteroffensive? Could be. So let's see. Meanwhile, Russian forces continued to attack Donetsk Oblast. The regional governor reported shelling of the town of Kurakove on March 14th. Well, we don't care about that. It's not that big deal. Bakhmut is bigger than that. And it's like Kherson here. And we got Kharkiv Oblast as well in deep doo-doo. Nearly 1,000 people were left without power after the attack, which damaged 14 residential high-rises again. No military, just civilians. And I'm quoting, the power supply will be restored as soon as it's safe enough to do so. That means they're out of power. Earlier, invading Russian forces launched missiles at Krematorsk city center in the morning of the 14th, March 14th. Again, 1 person died and 9 were injured. Not military again. As well as Kherson and Donetsk Oblast, Russian invasion troops regularly shell civilians. Okay, you see, that goes without saying. Again, civilian infrastructure damaging. I'm not denying that happens, but, I got it. And you know what I mean? The International Criminal Court recently announced, which actually Russia is not a signatory, neither is Ukraine or the United States of America, so beat it. Russia claims to have annexed Luhansk and Donetsk, Zaporozhye and Kherson Oblast, but does not completely control any of them. Not totally, that's correct. And your point is, that's why they're bombing you right now, to get them under control. And you and United States and everybody else want to kneel Russia. So what do you want? Those guys are going to fight for their interest. You guys are going to fight for your interest. The problem is the Ukrainian nation is used in all this. That's my assessment of that. Russia lost control of the city of Kherson, the only major Ukrainian regional center it had managed to capture in its full-scale invasion in early November 2022, and has been forced to retreat from parts of Zhytomyr, Kiev, Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkiv, Luhansk, and Kherson Oblast. So basically, which is true, not basically, but it's true, the Russians retreated from here, right? Here, I think they invaded here. This for sure, right here, this area here, that's been under the Russian control. Here was under Russian control here. So yeah, that's true. Good. But this is still under Russian control, and I'll see you guys really taking it back soon. But we'll see. I'm not rooting for them, but I think it's just criminal that the war occurs. It shouldn't have started in the first place. Russia continues to occupy around 18% of Ukraine's territory, including Crimea and parts of Donbass that were invaded by Russia in 2014. Well, the Kremlin falsely declared it has annexed Ukraine Crimea Peninsula in 2014, a claim that has only been recognized by a handful. How did they annex it? How did they annex it? Do you remember? Through a referendum. What's a referendum? People go and vote A or B, and they said A, and the will of the people should be recognized and accepted and respected, like in Kosovo. And the same thing happened in the other regions. So if we are, how should I put it, defending democracy, and we love democracy, and we push democracy, we spread democracy in the Middle East, like we spread it in Iraq and in in Afghanistan, then yeah, we should be happy about it. The will of the people was respected. And the other thing is, what happens when you have when people vote the way you don't want? What happens then? Well, you say, we don't accept the will of the people. Basically, it's what happened in these territories. And what happens, let's say, when you're going to have, let's say, some ethnicities, or maybe some groups, I don't want to go deeper than that, you're going to figure it out in a moment, saying, well, we are a majority on these territories, and we should vote to be autonomous, and then maybe we can join another country next door. How about that? And I'm talking about United States of America, or not even United States of America, as with that group. Let's get other groups. Say, well, you know what? We are here, let's say in Detroit, we are a majority, and we decide to have our own thing. I'm pretty sure the United States will say, yeah, the right of self-determination, and people within a country determine that they should have this area for themselves because they're majority over there. And you say, no, you can't have that. Well, you did it in Kosovo. Oh no, it was different. Obviously it was different because over there it was Albanians and Serbs, and here is Ukrainians and Russians. Yeah, it's just a different name. That's why when you give examples, or here would be, and so you give examples, but you just get the idea. That's why you give examples, or you make analogies. You have to pick the idea, not the, of course it was not the same. It's not the same person, it's not the same height, it's not the same weight, it's not the same name, and so on. So yeah, but you have to do this. I met a lot of people in my life who I was giving analogies That's comparing their favorite thing. They have here a few sayings like it's like comparing apples and whatever. What? And then they say that's an how they call that, conspiracy theory. They have a few words that say that's not the same thing. It's comparing this with that, apples and whatever they call pears or whatever pears, or no, that's not the same. Oh, this is conspiracy theory. Why? Because you don't like it. An analogy is not the same thing. An analogy is not the same thing. The idea is close, so can make a point so you understand the situation at hand. Well, it's not the same thing. Yes, it's not Gigi and Mike, it's Tommy and Frank. You is the idea. But anyway, same here. They don't like democracy when... Who likes democracy when you lose? Nobody likes that. First, we don't like to lose, but the problem is how we react. Do we still follow the rules that we liked prior to losing or not? Well, some people throw a tantrum, and that's how the infantiles are. Infantiles and children. Why? Because infant child, small baby, throws a tantrum, I want it now. So that's how it is. And some adults are still like that. We are like that. But some of us, or most of us, suppress that. And we say, well, a second, let's use this a little bit. We agreed to some rules. It's reciprocity, justice, and freedom, and democracy, and blah, blah, blah. And some people say, well, no, screw with it. I don't care about it. They don't even think about it. They say, mine, right now, the way I want it. And you, I don't even think about you. I'll see only me and my interest. Yeah, all right, well, this is a little, as I said, a little article with the Russia pounding Kherson Oblast, and I don't know, they're trying to counter the Ukrainians' attacks that they conducted, or they're sniffing a counteroffensive from the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians will not conduct a counteroffensive until they receive a big bulk of weapons from their head office, which is the United States and the European weasels. Only then. Before that, they have no ammunition, weapons, strength in order to conduct one. So we're still waiting for those things to come from the main base. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.